And Hassan Ali, if your dad is listening, please let him know that, man, you guys are rich people. You guys are in the Gold Coast. We are still poor, so our Isha is happening a bit. So it's very hectic to catch up. So 7:30 would be better, I think. So please let him know that the time is pushing here. I'm not sure about you guys are rich people, man. So maybe the Gold Coast, maybe, yeah, it is still behind. I'm not even sure, but here, almost 6, 7:15, 7:20, almost Isha ends. Anyway, we'll get back to the track and let me see. Okay, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه اللهم آمين يا رب العالمين. Do you hear me loud and clear?
Yes.
Okay, good. And now I want you to acknowledge me if you will be able to see my slides. Once you see my slides, please let me know. And let me know which screen you can see.
I see the biography of our beloved Prophet.
Say that again, Mera beta.
I can see a screen, the Kidhalka biography of our beloved Prophet.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is what is going to be happening now. We are almost halfway through the Seerah, and we're learning the Seerah throughout the year from Jibril. This is all Jibril's and the Hassan Ali. They taught us a lot of things, and we commenced about 6 months before, so, or maybe more than that. They commenced from the beginning all the way to they reached to the Medina, but because Abdullah and Muhib, specifically for you guys, because you might have missed a bit of the episodes, but this thing, what I want you to guys to do. So that's why I'm making a YouTube for you guys as well. So if your parents not to happen to join you this halaqah, try to see this thing with them. So whenever we do the episodes during the week, so you guys need to discuss this thing among the sibling and your with your parents that what you have gone through. So basically, when we say the biography of a person, it is the lifespan, what all these events happen throughout the life. And because this is a special biography of the greatest person ever lived, ever touched on this planet, is the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And there's a special word we say. Actually, it is biography in Arabic, is a Seerah, in Urdu maybe too. But when we say the Seerah, it could be for anyone, but only word Seerah, when a Muslim says Seerah, this is specifically we're talking about the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I will appreciate Muhib and Abdullah if you guys can make a way that you can sit up rather than to be laying down. So because I don't want to have a nap. So I'll really appreciate if you make your setting up. So what I will be doing, because it is for you guys to have these things in a recorded version as well. So later on, you maybe after 4 months, you need to go through maybe some because you remember that every time in the halaqah, I always ask you guys, oh, do you guys know what the Hassan Ali and the Jibril, with what they're talking about? Because remember that nowadays they were teaching us when they entered the Ayub Ansari's house and they were upstairs and the water, they were paranoid because the water would have gone penetrated downstairs where the Prophet ﷺ was. So maybe you guys must have heard these stories, but you do not know where that segment is coming in a sequence. So today is the opportunity for you guys to know where the story began and where the story ends. And I'm not going to tell you each and every whole story. All I'm telling you is only the main events, and obviously book of the Seerah. And if you want to follow Hassan Ali and the Jibril's work, they are actually taking us through. They are actually walking us through thoroughly, weekly. So that is, if it is the interesting thing which is supposed to be for all of us, that we need to learn the Seerah. And the main reason to learn the Seerah is that the Prophet Muhammad, how he lived, because he is the best example for us, because Allah mentioned in the Quran that he's the best role model. So if a person, because fluctuation happens in the life, ups and downs, when a person is a conqueror, he's a king, he's how he should deal, how he should deal as a husband, how he should be behaving his servant, how when a oppressor would overcome on him. And I have to teach you a beautiful hadith along with the dua, uh, where what I call that the dua of Taif, when Prophet Muhammad was in Am al-Huzn, and he has gone through a lot of troubles, and yet he did not get disappointed, and he was still asking Allah. And with these beautiful what should I say there? Because originally, when you hear that he went to the Halima Sa'diya, that who took care of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu, and he was a baby, and the people, they used to send people in the villages and Bedouins areas, because their fusha was so amazing. So in that dua, you will see where the fusha is coming amazingly. So we need to understand this is not only a story, it's not only the sort of the events what we see, the like what we see in the movies and the dramas or in the storybooks. It's not like that. It's totally different story. It is a story which will teach us the lesson. So if we get into these sort of a situations, how we can get out of those things. I'll try myself. We'll time it. I would not want to go over. I might have to go a bit over today. So hour and 15 minutes. If I'll be able to complete this whole thing, fine. Otherwise, at least I want to reach to the point where Hassan Ali and Jibril reach to, which is the Ayub Ansari. And very important notes, because upon completion of these things, you guys, because I could have done it, I did not do it purposely. These some dates and all these things, because I took this thing from the internet. Some dates and the numbers, please do not any numbers when you see the age and the numbers and all these things, unless I do not tell you, yeah, this is right, it's okay. Otherwise, please do not get confused or mixed, because many books, many variations, and it is always numbers are ups and downs. So do not engage yourself, do not stress out in numbers and the dates and all these things. So because we took this thing from the internet, and this is, I Googled, believe me or not, I Googled, and this might be the closest I could see. But originally, what we were learning through from the Rahiq al-Makhtoum, but I stopped second last halaqa because it is very heavy vocabulary. But ultimately, when you guys grown up like the Sheikh Hazan sort of people, high school or the college and uni people, they're supposed to be going from that book, Rahiq al-Makhtoum. That is, I can think that is at this time one of the authentic source. So let's start. Before I commence, if you guys have any question, let me know now. But I know you guys might be excited that some of this segment of the stories you might know and you want to discuss, right? Which is fine. If I get the time at the end, we'll come back to the slides and we will discuss this thing. I'm happy to hear these things, learn from you. But because we want to get over with one first review swiftly, then I'll appreciate if you be patient. Only people they can raise their hand or interrupt me. They're more than happy to interrupt me only if they do not comprehend, they do not understand what the slide I'm talking about. All clear? Thumbs up, my dear beta. Beautiful. My voice is all right, loud and clear.
Yes.
Okay. Can you see my screen? What is on that? Can someone tells me which screen is showing?
Yeah. It shows the screen where it says timeline of the Seerah of Prophet Muhammad.
Okay, beautiful. So if you see all this journey, basically it is all these episodes and the slides we will be going through. And I'll be running through, I'll try to be a bit quicker. I know this is not my style. I try to go thoroughly and we discuss and all these things. But this is because we're recording for you guys. I try to want to, I want to get over it. If any slides you do not understand, please do interrupt because I might be looking in my second window and maybe I'll be not looking at you. I'm happy that you unmute your mic and please ask me, go back and please let me know what did you talk about this slide. But anything about the discussion at the end of the halaqah today or maybe next week, then we'll be able to discuss. And I do know you guys are way more smarter. And I do know that you guys know thoroughly more than that, specifically Jibril and Hassan Ali, because they are the one who actually taught us all these things. So I do understand that you might have bigger version of it. So let's start now. And we always want to glorify Allah, which is say Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim, Bismillah, and the Muhammad Sallam Seerah with the Allahumma Salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad, kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad, kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Okay. Actually make it wider. So as I said, do not stress about the numbers and the dates and all these things, but I still go through because maybe I'll be reading, but maybe there's maybe those numbers are not accurate. Okay, the Prophet Muhammad born. When the Prophet Muhammad born, I know that, see, this is the first thing we just came across. Here is the 9th of the Rabiul Awwal, because it is very famous that specifically in our country, in Pakistan, they say that Prophet Muhammad he born on the 12th of the Rabiul Awwal. So this is one of the things. Then some people, they say it is 1810, but the death of the Prophet Muhammad was on the 12th. So we need to be generous with these things. So when the Prophet Muhammad he according to our calendar, which is we are in 2024, so in our calendar, about 1400 plus years before, when it was 571, now we are 2024. So subtract about 1500 years before, when it was 571. So that calendar year was in Rabiul Awwal, which is the date Arabic calendar, when Prophet Muhammad Sallam he born, and that is actually the called year of elephant, and we all know that, and you guys must be excited to tell us the story of Abraha and all these things, to which we are not going into the depth. But when this Abraha guy, he wanted to attack Kaaba, and Allah sent some ababil, what they call the birds, who destroyed their elephant and all these troops. And we all know the lineage of the Prophet Muhammad Sallam, and grandfather was Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, who had two sons, Ishaq and Ismail alayhi salam, and Prophet Muhammad Sallam from the Ismail alayhi salam. So grandfather of Prophet Muhammad Sallam was Ismail alayhi salam and Ibrahim alayhi salam. And we know where they stationed in the originally they came. Ibrahim alayhi salam, he traveled from the Iraq and through the Palestine, and dropped his family in that desert where is Makkah now. And the Zamzam came, and we know the story of the Zamzam and all these things. So I'm not going all the way back, but we're commencing right from here. So Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu is in the care of the Halima Sa'diya. As I said, those days, young kids, they used to be sent by the parents to far away from the downtown, because in downtown, in city life, so hectic. Not only that, not atmosphere, pollution, they're not healthy. So along with that, their language would become, because nowadays when we live in these downtowns and the cities, we have all sort of slangs. But out back, maybe, I'm not sure about here, but in other areas of the world, specifically in that time, if you want to preserve your language, they used to keep them far away, which is in the desert. So it was custom of the town Arabs to send their children to Bedouin desert Arabs, so they would grow strong in the harsh desert climate. At the age of 4 or 5, 4 or 2 or 5, he said, but we call it up to age of 4. So now on, I'm not stressing about the age and all these things. But one day, the Jibreel alayhi salam, he was playing with his siblings, foster siblings, and Jibreel alayhi salam, along with the other messenger, they were angels, right? But he's also a messenger. They came and made him lie down, open his chest, basically open heart surgery, right? And took out lump flesh, saying it was the part of the Saturn, and Saturn in him, and he then cleaned the heart with the Zamzam water and turned it to his chest. And then Halima Sa'diya, who was a carer of Muhammad Sallam, she was so paranoid, though she did not want to leave the Muhammad Sallam, but she has to return to his mom, Amina. And then the Prophet Sallam spent with his mother, Amina, on way back from the journey from Yathrib. Who's going to tell me what is the Yathrib nowadays? Except the Jibreel and the Hassan Ali, because we learned from you guys. You guys were our teachers. So anyone know what is the Yathrib? Now, anyone knows about the Yathrib, the city name? What is the city now? Yes, go ahead. I cannot see the hands now. Just go ahead if you guys know. What Jihad is saying? A little bit next to the Makkah.
Medina.
That's
Medina.
it. That's it. See, he knows. That's it. Good on you. And the credit goes to the Jibril and the Hassan Ali, obviously. All of us, we learn from them. So on the way back from the journey to the Yathrib, Amina, she died at the Abwa, and the Abdul Muttalib brought Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam back to the Mecca. So basically, when he was 6 years old, his mom died, and we all know that. When did his father died? Anyone gonna tell me when Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's father died? Not you, not the teachers, man. You don't need to raise your hands today.
Before the father.
Before the what?
Father.
Yeah. When did the father of Muhammad Sallam die?
Before he was born.
Before the birth of the Muhammad Sallam. Excellent, Dawood. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Okay. So from the age of the 6 to the age of the 8 years old, forget about the 2 months and 10 days, but Abdul Muttalib, who was the grandfather of the Prophet Muhammad Sallam, he took care of him. And then from 8 all the way to the death of the uncle Abu Talib, he was basically taking care of him. Now you guys must have must be thinking that how come he was taking care of an adult person when he was 18, he's okay to go. But you will realize that he was actually protecting him from the kuffar and all those, and he was a big shield. So then we be able to know when the Hassan Ali and Jibril, they're gonna walk you through thoroughly how Abu Talib was a big shield against the kuffar. So when the Prophet Muhammad Sallam was 12 years old, he got the opportunity to go to the Syria along with his uncle. Obviously, he was his carer or his guardian, and he was accompanied with his uncle to a trade journey, because the uncle used to go to the Syria, nowadays, close to the Palestine. On the way back, he saw a monk there, and a monk used to stay always in a cave, but that particular day he came down after years, and people were surprised and shocked that how come he came down, and he only wanted to see Muhammad Sallam because he has some signs that he has a shadow. He's the only one was under a shadow. And then he actually requested to see a seal, which was in between his 2 shoulders, and the neck all the way at the back. And he said, can I see this seal? And soon he saw that seal. He recognized that he is the prophet of this ummah. And actually he said to the Abu Talib, please take him back, otherwise people in Medina, people in Syria, they're gonna harm him. And so he been sent back to the Makkah. So Battle of Fajr. So Battle of Fajr takes place. The Prophet Sallam's role was pick up the arrows and hand them to his uncle. Basically, he was assisting. He was still engaging. So he was, Allah wanted him to learn these things. So he was brave enough. So he was helping his uncles to collect these arrows and all these things, though he was in a battlefield. After the Battle of the Fajr, the Prophet was present in Hilf al-Fudul, a pact in which the 5 tribes leaders agreed to stand up for anyone who suffered injustice. So what was happening, there were some fight took place, and they were not. So what they done, they said, okay, if someone in future do these sort of a drama, we're gonna have some ruling. And Muhammad Sallam, he liked that, and he was actually in that Half al-Badul, which was basically a promise. So giving a promise, okay, we're gonna stand with these rules. If someone breach these rules, we're gonna go against them. So Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam make his living. Basically, he was always with the flocks of and the goats of the Banu Sa'ad. So basically, he was a shepherd. His first job was a shepherd. So when you guys grow up, if you have a 7-Eleven or the Meccas or some, not the Meccas nowadays, we have the boycott with the Meccas, but yeah, some other so-called the odd jobs. Don't be shy. It's all right. Our Prophet done that. Odd jobs, so-called the odd jobs. Take a pride. Yeah, this is a man grow up. We all done that. Your dads and all of us, we done these things, and we do not shy to earn the halal money. So as the Prophet Muhammad Sallam, because we learned from him, the Prophet Muhammad Sallam journeys to, on business trips for the Khadija radiallahu anha, who became later his wife. So he was actually working as a tradesman or a businessman for Khadija. She was elderly lady, 40 years, and he was 25, and they got married. Actually, she was very rich, honorable, and she offered from Muhammad Sallam, and where Muhammad Sallam accepted her hand. So when Prophet Muhammad was 25, we already said that, and rebuilding of the Kaaba dispute over the black stone due to the flood which had damaged the Kaaba. The Kaaba was being rebuilt. The job of Muhammad Sallam was carry stones. So people were carrying stone and someone used to fix it. So he was honored that he was actually a laborer of building a Kaaba. So forget about these dates again. But all we need to know that when he was 40 years old, when he used to, and I do not even want to see, I'll read this one first and I'll pick some words which I don't want you to learn these things, because I want to tell you the right thing. It says the first revelation, Jibreel as-salam came to the Prophet while he was in meditating. So the word meditating, I'll choose that we don't want to mix your brain with this word because it has other meanings too. So basically, he always used to think about the Allah. So someone must have created it, and Allah wanted him to think and contemplate about this thing outside of the box thinking, right? So I will switch that meditating word to basically contemplating and the thinking about the Allah. In the cave of the Hira, and I'm going to replace the second one, which is the grabs Prophet's neck. I would not say this. I'll say that Jibreel as-salam basically hugged him so tight, so chest to chest when we hug each other. So he hugged him. And we all know these ayat. اقرأ باسم ربك أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. Okay, just checking everything is fine, my boys and girls today. Yeah, everything going good so far? Am I engaging you? I'm not boring you? Okay, so let me show you this thing. So we need to visualize basically this thing. So see, we were traveling all the way and we were almost here. We need to travel all the way, which is the Seerah, right? So this is the journey. So that's why I try to make sure that you guys are visualizing these things. See, so this is the first revelation. Happy boys? Abdullah, where's Muhib?
Yes.
Thank you, Muhib. Are you okay, Muhib? Are you getting it, mera beta? Okay, beautiful. Amina, you getting it, mera beta? Thank you, Amina. Okay, let's go to the point where we were. Oh, so the first 3 years of the prophethood, I again want to switch some words. When it is always, normally they say this thing, secret propagation of Islam or teaching when we want preaching. I don't like to use this secret thing, because secret does not, I'm not a big fan of this word secret preaching. No, I know that it's for 3 years, he was not openly saying to everyone, but what I would say that he was, first 3 years, initially he was telling only first circle, like people who are very close to him. So I go that way. So the first 3 years of the prophethood were mainly focused on one-to-one of da'wah. So you always do something for your family, your parents, your sibling, your neighbors, maybe your friends. Then you go and walk away, do the da'wah for other people. You cannot do like you forgetting your own people and you're doing the da'wah for the others. It won't work like that. So this is the rules. This is a rule we should understand in our life. So third year of the Prophet Muhammad and the Prophet Muhammad, basically he went to the Safa, big mountain there. He went there and he said, okay, he basically openly called everyone toward Allah. So, oh, it's right here. فَاسْدَعْ بِمَا تُؤْمَرُ وَأَعْرِضْ عَنِ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. So, when the warning from atop of a mountain Safa, the Prophet ﷺ climbed up to the mountain Safa and called all his kinsmen by their names. So he was basically, if I'll be telling you, oh Jihad, oh Hassan Ali, oh this, oh that, like names. So he was calling everyone. So everyone got the attention. A person climbs on the hill on those days, because that was the way of broadcasting of a threat or some important news. So that is the social media or the news time of that time. So if a person has something that they, I have a special news that the army, someone is going to attack you, this sort of a news, people got attention. They left their everything, all the businesses and everything. They got and when a person, we know that Muhammad never been on a mountain and never been like loudly calling people. Now he's calling for something important. And then he said about the Allah and I'm the messenger of Allah and all these things. And people did not support him, specifically Abu Lahab. And that's why you guys always must have memorized this surah, Tabbat yada abi lahabin wa tab. So that is surah talking about that he said bad thing about the Prophet ﷺ, and the Quran responded that his hands to be destroyed. So the story carries on. In the early phase of Islam, now Prophet ﷺ, he said openly, obviously the retaliation would be coming. So persecution of the believers and of the Prophet ﷺ, the people, they start beating people, they start doing lots sort of thing, and even start killing people. A very difficult time for the Prophet and the believer, as they were being punished severely. Even people high status, such as Abu Bakr, Uthman radiallahu anhu, like big people, like not only the poor people, like tribal people too. So everyone was suffering. So there was a Dar al-Arqam, means there was a house of Arqam. bin Abi al-Arqam was the center of the prayers, preaching, education, training of the believers. So at that time, that was a voluntary prayers, not the prayers we 5 times a day, Hazan and all. No. That is like voluntarily people wanted to be close to the Allah, and Prophet ﷺ used to teach all these things. So the halaqah, what we are doing, so he was giving the halaqahs and all the training. So you will be getting paradise if you follow me, this and that. So obviously they did not want Kuffar to know this house of Arqam, otherwise they would have attacked them. So 5th year of the prophethood, the first migration to the Abyssinia. Later, if I'll get the chance today, or maybe in next halaqah, you guys must have seen that I always show you guys a map. So in Saudi Arabia, there's on the left side, which we call the west side of Saudi Arabia, there is Red Sea. Across the Red Sea, there are basically African countries. In one of the African country is Abyssinia. Nowadays, you can say it's Eritrea or Ethiopia. So people, they start going there because they could not handle this. They were sick and tired of what was happening to them. So they asked permission from Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and they start going there because there was a king, his name, Najashi used to be called the king. So this Najashi, they used to give a good shelter. So he was a good person. Later, he became a Muslim. So after 2 months, when the people, they went there, what happened? There was a misconception happened. When the Prophet Muhammad, he was in Makkah, he was praying one day and he was reciting, and everyone got paranoid and everyone got into the prostration. So I'll read this thing out, that the Prophet recited the verse of the Surah An-Najm, and the large number of the Quraysh, when he reached to the end of the surah, of the Prophet prostrated, and along with him, so did all the Quraysh. So everyone got to the sajda, right? So even the Umayyah ibn Khalf, he was a very bad guy, and he used to torture Bilal radiallahu anhu. And even he got scared of this, Quran talking about something warning. So, and this should be the interest of you, that you should be going through this surah. And we have the Hafiz Saab here. He'll teach you that the Surah An-Najm, where it ends, it is a scary part. So it is, you might need to explore what happened. I need to see the translation. I need to study that one, because everyone got paranoid, and everyone got so scared of this. And even though some of them, they still died on kufr, being disbeliever, but though they scared enough. So Umayyah bin Khalf, who took a handful of a dust, rub it on his forehead, saying, "This enough for me." So he basically, he was out of ego. He was the only person did not put his head down, but he was so scared. He grabbed some of dust, and then he rubbed it hidingly away from the people. He said, "It's enough for me." So basically everyone's scared. So which made a big confusion. People who went to the Abyssinia, actually they came back, they thought everyone became Muslim, so no one gonna harm them. But the story wasn't like that. So so this is what they're talking about. A rumor had reached to the immigrants in Abyssinia that the Quraysh had accepted Islam. Because of their prostration at the end of the Surah Najm, they returned only to find the situation wasn't the same. So basically, they must be disappointed. So the second migration, so because some people were sick and tired, and some people, they turned back and they said there's a safety zone there. And so everything was happening there, and they must have talked about the King Najashi and all these things. So now basically, a lot of people, they went there. Initially only 5 of them, I believe. And the second time, the 82 or 83 men and 18 women migrated. So a lot of big group now migrated. And actually, Usman radiallahu anhu with his family also went there. The Quraysh tried to get the immigration back. So what the Quraysh did is send Amr bin al-As and Abdullah bin Rabi' to bring immigrants back. So they were saying, they tried to manipulate in front of the king and state. So they said, you know what, these are our people. They ran away, this and that. But when, as I told you guys, this king, Josh, he was a very pious person and he was straightforward. When he did not only listen to their story, he cross-examined and he heard the other people's story, and he became to know that it's a false. So he said, yo, go get a life. So let them be here if they want to. So what happened, this is actually, I think it was 6th year of the prophethood when the Hamza, radiallahu anhu, who was basically uncle of the Prophet, but he was a young man. And Umar radiallahu anhu, Umar al-Khattab, they were like very brave and very talented and very active people of the society, and they became a Muslim. Now Muslims, they become very strong because all these strong people entering in Islam. So 6 years goes by, and the 7th years of the prophethood, that what they did for the next 3 years, because the Quraysh, they said, you know what, we're gonna do boycott. Nowadays we call it the sanctions of in a country. Okay, we're not going to trade with them, we're not going to talk with them, we don't want them to be in our society. So they went away. So not a lot, like it's very close, but they were really struggling. And in one stage, they were eating the leaves because they did not have any food. So for 3 years, it was really struggling. And the Mushrikeen had decided to put total boycott in the tribes of the Banu Hashim and Banu Abdul Muttalib, Muslim and non-Muslims. So the Muslims were forced out of Makkah into the Shaib Abu Talib. They were reduced to eating leaves and the roots. And then they said, no, it's not this. Some people, they said it's a wrong treaty, and then they ended the boycott. Are we smooth? Are we happy now? Everyone is all right? Thumbs up. Beautiful. Mohib, you all right? Are you getting it, Mera Beta? Good job. Okay, what I'll give you the incentive. I know this is a hectic, it's a long session. Next week, I'll make a special deal with you guys. If you be attentive, I am going to give you, I'll take you somewhere. We might need to do the halqa on the run. We might do something at home. But the only condition is you have to let me know that you understand all these things. So we're gonna test you guys that you know all these things, and inshallah, you're gonna be getting a deal. And except Jihad, he will not get anything because I cannot see him. He ran away. Tell him the good news. I don't care. Tell him he's not in. If it is the halqa on the run or something gonna happen, Jihad is not in, my friend, because he wasn't here. Oh, he's here now? Okay. Okay, we'll get you for the halqa on the run or something, whatever we're gonna be doing, but we'll take away your incentive because you were absent for the pani pini. No. Okay, good job, Jihad. So this is a sorrow. This is when the Prophet Muhammad's age was about 50 years old, right? So it was a year of a sorrow. So this, because no one is listening, not many people becoming Muslim, and Abu Talib died, and then Khadija radiallahu anha, the only wife at that time, died. They were the big supporter, and this was the whole year Prophet Muhammad was in a great grief. So the Prophet ﷺ, later married. So basically, for the Prophet ﷺ, it was allowed to marry more than one. So yeah, so I do not want to even see this one, Aisha's age. I don't want to go into the details. You don't need this, but forget about this one. But she was young when she got married, and the Sauda. So he has few wives. Journey to Taif. So now this one is so important, and this dua. That's why I want to spend a bit of our time, even if we go over, it's all right, because you guys are gonna be getting incentive next week. So now Prophet Hassan was taking the message to Islam to the neighboring tribes because no one was listening in the Makkah. So Prophet Hassan was made his journey to Taif on foot. It is 30 miles. It's a very long 30 miles from Makkah, with his slave, Zaid bin Haritha. They tried to preach there, right? But the retaliation was even harsher. So they replied, the reply of the people was that hostility, children and slaves were sent after him, throwing stones until even the feet of the Prophet were bleeding. The Prophet took shelter in the orchard belonging to the Utbah and Sheba, the son of Rabia. At the point, he made the dua. So basically, they insulted him, and actually Allah sent the messenger, and Allah sent the angel, and angel actually offered that if you want us, that we can destroy with these mountain these people. But Prophet ﷺ, he said no, maybe their offsprings, they're gonna be Muslims. So this is what happened nowadays. If we need to go to the Hajj or Umrah, we actually, that is Taif is the one of the station where we dress up for the put the ihram and all these things. But I want you guys to understand this dua. It is so important that we need to understand this dua. There's the wordings, and now you will understand why, especially nowadays, we Muslims in Gaza, in Pakistan, in all over the world, they are going through the troubles. And if you ever get trouble, this is a dua. And I want you guys to know this dua. It's a bit of the strong wording. Can you see my screen or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'll try to read this thing. I know you have to, basically, it is a bit of the strong, heavy vocabulary. But please do give me a favor and do give yourself a favor. Try to have this thing handy whenever you get stuck. Please, this is very strong dua. اللهم إليك أشكو ضعف قوتي وقلة حيلتي وهواني على الناس يا أرحم الراحمين. أنت رب المستضعفين وأنت ربي إلى من تكلني إلى بعيد يتحجمني أم إلى عدو ملكته أمري. إن لم يكن بك علي غضب فلا أبالي ولكن عافيتك هي أوسع لي. أعوذ بنور وجهك الذي أشرقت له الظلمات وصلح عليه أمر الدنيا والآخرة من أن تنزل غضبك أو يحل علي سخطك لك العتب حتى ترضى ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله إلا بك. I know it's very, as I said, it's very heavy vocabulary, but can you imagine at that time when his feet was bleeding, whole entire world not listening to him, and he was still was able to utter this sort of a heavy vocabulary of fusha, and look at the powerful dua. That's why they say this is so powerful, this dua. And look at the wordings and the meaning. To you, my Lord, now he's complaining to his Allah. To you, my Lord, I complained of my weakness, lack of support, and humiliation I'm made to receive. Most compassionate and the merciful, you are the Lord of the weak, and you are my Lord. To whom do you leave me? So he's saying, how come you're going to leave me for these people, that they're going to do this thing to me? Look at the humbleness. To a distant person who received me with hostility, or to an enemy, you have given power over me. As long as you are not displeased with me, I do not care. So he's saying, if you are happy, I'm happy. I still can't take this. I don't care. I don't care what I face. I would, however, be much happier with your mercy. I seek refuge. So see, he's still optimistic. He did not give up. He did not go to the disappointed mode. I seek refuge in the light of your face, by which all darkness is dispelled, and about this life and the life to come are put in their right course against incurring your wrath, or being the subject of your anger. To you I submit until I earn your pleasure. Everything is powerless without your support. So we all need to learn this dua. This is something amazing. So everyone is with me so far?
Yeah.
So see, you guys are, mashallah. See, oh, you guys are almost here, mashallah, tabarakallah. Very good, very good. Okay, so let's carry on. So the moon split when there was a sign when the Quraysh, they wanted to see the sun. So Prophet Muhammad Sallam shown a sight by the Allah, which was splitting of the moon. This happened right in the front of them, yet they disbelieved. They said, oh, it's just a magic. It's just a magic. Before they wanted to see something, some miracle, and moon split, and people witnessed when they were traveling. They came after a month and they said, yeah, we saw this thing. Oh, all around the world, people, they see 2 moons, man, half is there and half, still they say, oh, it's a magic, because they did not want to believe him. So this is when everything was going against him. And look at the dua, what he asked. So Allah gave him not only the miracle of splitting of moon, now what Allah is saying, taking him, Allah is giving him a relief. Look, forget about these people. If they don't listen, it's okay. I'll take you a special journey. I'll take you all the way to the heavens. I'll show you the heaven. I'll show you the Jibreel. I'll let you go to the throne of Allah, like very close to the Allah, right? And Allah showed him everything. He's the only human being on this planet was able to see all these things. All these things. So look at the whole world did not want to listen to him, what he got. So the night journey of so ascension is basically going up and up and up. So he's going not only where the plane can go, beyond these planes and beyond these skies and beyond this universe. So he went Isra and Mi'raj, right? Isra, when he traveled from journey from Makkah to the Palestine, where the Masjid al-Aqsa is, and then ascension to the heavens. On this journey, the Prophet ﷺ journeyed to the Jerusalem on the Buraq. So there was a special ride came. It's it is sort of a horse. It's not a horse, but it is very, very, very fast. Name is Buraq, where he was able to go then after the Jerusalem, which is I call it a Palestine, which is Beth al-Maqdis. And after that, he prayed there with the prophets. We do not know how all the other prophets who died, they gathered there, and Prophet Muhammad sallam, he led the prayer, and then he went to the skies, and where he was able to see them again. So from there, the journey to the heavens, meeting the prophets at a different level. It was there where the Muslim were given the ordinance of the Salah. So all these 5 prayers, what you and me try to do, it was a gift being given when he went to the meet Allah. Then what happened, 11th year of the prophethood, so his age is now about 51, when 6 people used to come for the Hajj, right? So 6 pilgrims had come to the Yathrib in Mina. They met with Prophet ﷺ and called them to Islam. They accepted. So now whoever is coming from outside, Prophet ﷺ used to go and station himself outward of the Mecca, because in Mecca, everyone having eyes on him, don't let him preach. But when he said, all these pilgrims, they accepted Islam, and they would spread the message of Islam to their people, and they would, and next year they said, okay, we're gonna come next year and we'll try to tell people in Medina about you. The first pledge of the Aqaba, that's why we said 5 or 6 people returned, and the next year, the 7 others, so they brought few more people next year, and then said, okay, you know what? The pledge means the promise from Muhammad sallam, okay, we're gonna be sticking with you. If you take the decision that you, in future, if you want to migrate to Medina, we'll help you. We don't leave you alone. So the second pledge of the Aqaba, many people, pilgrims came to the Yathrib, Muslim and pagans, in order to meet the Prophet sallam, to invite him to Yathrib. 73 Muslims went out in Aqaba, including 2 women, to make covenant of their loyalty to the Prophet. So now, big group, they said, we're gonna assist you if it ever happened that you migrate, you come to us. If these people annoying you too much, we'll take care of you. So the Muslim migrate to Medina. So now Prophet ﷺ giving permission to Muslim. Okay, you know what? We have another station there. Few people became Muslim. If you guys go Medina, which is far away, nowadays, even in cars, it'll take like about 4 or 5 hours. So actually, Sheikh Hazan gonna tell me now, so how long it takes, but he just came recently. 4 hours? Okay, 4 hours. So, though I drove from Makkah to Medina, I drove all those, but many years before. But in those days, obviously, people will be on the camel or the horses. It's a long journey. It's like a week's journey. But people, they start going. Now the Muslim had somewhere to go to. Most of them migrated to Medina. Most Muslim migrated secretly. But Umar ibn Khattab, you think that Umar ibn Khattab can go secret? No, he challenged each and everyone. He said, look, I am going. If someone want to have a fight, someone want to have a go, come, meet me there on my way. And people, everyone knows that they're scared of the Umar ibn Khattab. But eventually he also left. And the immigrants at Abyssinia had also migrated to Medina. So the people from the Abyssinia, they heard this news, so they start traveling there. So now people, they're gathering at the Medina. So Muslims who were not able to migrate were still in Mecca, and Prophet ﷺ, who was waiting for the command of Allah, because the prophets cannot move without the permission of the Allah. So a council at Dar al-Nadwa. So now the kuffar, they were having some mockery station, I would say. So they were sort of a parliament, or sort of where they used to do plans. So they say, you know what, ma'adallah, they want to plan to kill Prophet. So what they say, that due to the migration Muslim to Yathrib, and the Quraysh feared for the power of the Muslim, who had made their base in Yathrib, which is a Medina, right? And leaving for the Prophet behind because he was yet to, so they were saying he must be planning. So they have this feeling that, okay, so maybe he gonna go there. So at the council, the Quraysh were deciding how to handle the situation. Iblis, which is a big shaitan, was also present here in the front of the Sheikh Jalil of Najd. He became like a Najdi Sheikh. They had concluded that they would appoint young people from each tribe and they will try to, ma'azallah, they try to execute or kill Prophet ﷺ. So why they wanted to appoint each young person from each tribe? Because then each tribe will protect his person. So everyone declaring a war. So Prophet ﷺ given permission to migrate. One day, Angel Jibreel came to the Prophet ﷺ giving him permission to migrate. He was told the exact time he should leave home, the plot of the Mushrikeen, and then he should not sleep in his bed. So Ali radiallahu anhu, he slept that night the Prophet's bed. So Prophet ﷺ basically and this you can see this وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ سَدًّا وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ سَدًّا فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ. This whole thing is in the Quran. So Prophet ﷺ was able to escape. So migration, the Prophet ﷺ, messenger of Allah, he went to with the Abu Bakr, would spend 3 nights in the Mount of the Thor. So this is a very so if I ask you next week, what is the mountain where the revelation came? That was the Hira. So this is the second one, Thor. So mountain of Thor, where they stationed 3 days, 3 nights. So everyone was going one direction. And we actually took whole halaqah about that, how Prophet ﷺ was able to, that was the tactics in the war. So how to escape from the enemy. So everyone was going toward the Medina and they went actually opposite side. They stayed and held there in that mountain, and everyone distracted, and they took a very hard route, which is very opposite route. No one can think of that route. And journey to the Medina, Abdullah bin. So basically, this was the journey when they hired a pointer they used to call like a direction teller. So there was a person named Arqat Laythi. So he was guided, and along with the Prophet ﷺ, obviously Abu Bakr Siddiq. So they also stationed in Ma'bad. So you have to remember this lady, Ma'bad. There was a tent in the desert, and he and Abu Bakr Siddiq, he drank the milk and he stationed and he took a rest. So she said, attribute of the Prophet ﷺ, even up to now, all these attributes of the Prophet ﷺ, how he used to look, used to be from this lady, Ma'bad. She describes so well. So the Prophet arrived in the Quba. The Prophet finally arrived at the outskirts of Yathrib, known as Medina, at the place called Quba. The people of the city had been waiting for the Prophet's arrival and would wait for him at Hira each day. When he saw arrive, the first thing he did was sit silent. He saw he, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, had stayed there for 4 days, and in this time he laid the foundation of the Quba. So basically he built the Masjid al-Quba. So entering in Medina after praying the Jum'ah after 4 days there, which is very adjacent to the Medina, right? Very close. So then crowd, they came there, a lot of crowd, men and women, children had gathered, and actually that is the nasheed. Young girls, they said, Tala'u Badru Alayna, very famous I hope that our young girls, they would memorize this nasheed. Very beautiful nasheed. So children had gathered around the greet to Prophet ﷺ and offer him hospitality. The Prophet ﷺ had stayed with Abu Ayyub Ansari. So where we left off from the Hassan Ali and the Jibril. So he was actually teaching us for last 2 weeks that the Prophet ﷺ had stayed with the Abu Ayyub Ansari, who had taken the saddle of the Prophet's camel with him. The Prophet's mosque had been built where the she-camel of the Prophet ﷺ first knelt it. So where because people tried to stop. He said, no, she's my special camel, and she only stops with the order of Allah, and she stopped in certain place where now we see the Medina Mosque. So the land belonged to the two orphans. Obviously, Hassan Ali and Jibril told us this thing, that orphan two young boys, they wanted to give away, but the Prophet ﷺ actually paid the money and bought the land. So what you see now in Medina Mosque, so that Medina Mosque, actually Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he paid that mosque for us. Subhanallah. So who was actual owner of that land? He actually paid it for us. So the first thing what they done, few things, we are almost getting to the where we reached. Inshallah, in 4 or 5 minutes, we are concluding up to, because we cannot continue the whole thing, but inshallah up to here where we left off with the Hassan Ali thing. So the first thing what they done, the brotherhood and established between the Muhajirin and Ansar. Muhajirin, people who migrated, the people who came from Mecca to Medina, they call Muhajirin. So wherever you see in the Quran or the Seerah, Muhajirin means Meccan people. And when you think of the Ansar, they were Medina people. So basically, ultimately, everyone was from Medina, but to differentiate among them, so we would know that Muhajirin was the people of Makkah and Ansar was people of the Medina. One of the first things that Rasulullah did upon arriving in Medina was establishing bond between the. So now again here he said the 45 Muhajirin, take this 45 away. So don't worry about it. But all these, whatever the number was, establishing a bond between them, Muhajirin and Ansar. So they made the friendship. Not only the friendship, they made them brothers. So they shared 50% of their assets. So covenants are made with the other communities. So the people upon arriving in Medina, the Prophet ﷺ also established the Islamic community by treating other coexisting community in Medina, and Jews and politicians like other people. They said, okay, we have to do the treaty with you guys. So whoever attack us, so we all like, so they made some rules. And they established the military and everything. So what I will do, I'll stop here, because here where Hassan Ali and Jibril reached to. So you have to remember what we will do. I'll be taking your questions if you have, and I'll be stopped because I don't want to take it too long. Where is that thing? Okay, so do you guys have any question before I take the slides away?
No.
I think it looks like you guys are, no, not this one. No.